Here are your top 10 new builds for first-time homebuyers.
Hey everyone, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Catherine.
And we are the Thomas Group with Real Broker, your local Las Vegas and Henderson realtors. So I am Kristen, I'm your resident new build expert.
And I'm Catherine, your first-time homebuyer expert.
So we thought it would be fun today to come together to, do a little mashup and help everybody that's first-time homebuyer and looking for new construction here in Las Vegas. You might think new construction, there's nothing affordable out there, but there are a lot of hidden gems out there, aren't there?
There really are, and we're seeing so many that have either quick move-in options, most things are included, so you're not going to get nickel and dimed on all of these like extras for flooring, countertops, cabinets, all that stuff. So they really are more affordable than a lot of people think.
Yeah, and in addition, a lot of the builders right now are offering rate buy downs, a lower interest rate, and to be quite honest, that's really what the big barrier of entry is right now for first-time home buyers. So it's super helpful. That plus closing costs. There's a reason why a lot of our clients are choosing to go with new construction.
Yeah, the huge chunk of your mortgage payment right now, unfortunately, is going to be interest rates. So having that help from the new builds lender of buying it down can really make buying your first home or a new build actually affordable.
Totally. So there's a lot of options out there.
Yes.
If you are thinking about, moving or buying here in Las Vegas and you're a first-time home buyer looking at new construction, all of our information is here on the screen. We'd love to help you. We can help narrow things down further, but we've picked our personal top 10 favorite choices.
We based them on being affordable, places that maybe have everything included. There are a couple that do. So really basing it on your first-time home buyer and for it to be as cost-effective as possible. So
yeah, all right, let's get into it.
All right, so our number one is going to be KB in Inspirada. Now they do have 4 different plan options to choose from, or I guess communities that have different plans to choose from. Your first one is going to be the Groves, and they have 6 townhome plans to choose from, and those are starting at about $312,000.
And yet you can get into those for mid 300s, and you're in Inspirada is such a desirable area. The elementary schools are great. This is truly one of my favorite options, and I've sold a lot of them because I love them and they're great value.
Yeah, and there's so much that's going into Inspirada. We have an Inspirada video. We can link that below for you to check it out. But there's so much, even just in the past couple of years, that has gone into Inspirada and things that are still going there. New schools, which do tend to have the higher ratings. So Inspirada is a hot spot, and you would think because it's a hot spot, I'm priced out of there. But these are definitely some great options. Another one is going to be the Gardens, which you have 5 2-story plans to choose from. These do have side yards instead of backyards, but it's still a great option. You could have a grill out there. If you have a smaller dog, they're known as the zero lot line because it is kind of connected to the house next to it. I've toured quite a few of those actually recently with clients, and I was expecting it to feel really cramped, the house itself and the yard, but you do have quite a bit more space than you would think for that.
It's such a great option, especially for coming from an apartment to get your own space, get your little backyard, because like you said, to let the dog out, to not have to get up and let the dog out, put the doggy door in.
Yeah.
It's so nice, and if you're very careful with your upgrades, I've had clients get in there for right around $400,000, which again, for such a popular area,
absolutely
incredible.
Yes, it really is. So also at KB and Inspirada, you have the Landings. You're going to have 2 single-story options and 3 2-story options. These are going to be single-family homes. You will have your traditional backyard, and these are going to start at about $420,000. Yeah. And then to round out Inspirada, we also have the Reserves at Inspirada. These are also single-family homes. These are going to start around $482,000. They are a little bit on the larger side. You're more what people would think of a traditional single-family home.
You've got a larger lot at the Reserves too.
Yes. So, but still affordable for an area that is such a hot spot right now.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And the HOA dues at Inspirada are $85 a month, unless you're in the townhomes, and then they're I think $170 around there. Because they're taking care of some extra maintenance, but
townhomes usually have your roof included, exterior stuff like that. So.
Yeah, but there's so much in Inspirada that's included in the $85 a month.
Yeah, you have pools, parks, tennis courts, pickleball courts. The list goes on, and they're still adding to it as well.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to talk about cadence, in a little bit, and they have a community pool, but it's tiny, and Cadence is huge, and
Yeah.
like
And
it's
it's
like
one
it's one little tiny one
compared
compared to
to-
Inspirada. It's a ton.
Yeah.
So yeah. Obviously, we're very passionate about Inspirada. So moving on then to my next one is TriPointe Highview. This is their newer version of Capri, if you've seen Kat's video on Capri. Really, really great option because they are a little bit more modern.
Yes.
Than KB, you know, is a little bit more traditional, kind of the Mediterranean style, and TriPointe's a little bit more modern.
Yes, I've done a ton of videos on TriPoints. I love the modern design.
Yes.
And you can go a little crazy on your upgrades, but I do think that the townhome options, especially the quick move-in ones. Now, the quick move-ins started during COVID when the supply chain issues were such a problem, and builders started just ordering options and putting them in homes. So it's not that they were like quickly built, but you can move in quicker. There's less options to choose from, which if you are trying to save money and stay on the lower side,
Totally the way to go.
it's a really amazing deal. I just sold a Capri townhome, and the clients were able to pick the countertops and the floors still, but there was another option where they didn't get to pick anything, and it was a little bit less, but you know, you have your options with these townhomes, and I think that's a really great thing to kind of gauge where you're at. If you want to keep it really, really low, go with something that's already chosen. If you have the flexibility, you can choose your options, but they are starting at around $395,000, so
Yeah.
you are getting a really great deal here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's like, is it worth it to spend a little bit more for that modern aesthetic? You'll end up like in the low 400s, maybe to upper 400s. But again, great choice. Your HOA here is $186 a month.
And you do have a community pool.
Oh yeah, they have their private pool. They're
Their
like,
own.
they don't have access to the Inspirada pools. It's like a weird zoning thing, but you have your own pool.
But
which
they
is
have
better.
their own.
It's
So there's
closer.
going to be like less people there. They're going to have barbecue areas, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to stay in Henderson, but we're going to go to a different area, Lennar's Black Mountain Ranch. So this is in the Black Mountain Horizon area of Henderson, but it is its own community. Lennar has bought what used to be a golf course. There were a couple new builds that were vying for this space. They ended up getting it, so it's this just massive area. Like I said, they're building their own community. There are smaller communities within these communities. You will have your High Pointe Townhomes. Those are going to start at about $390,000. The single families are going to be Daybreak, which is starting around $468,000. You also have Landmark and Ridgeview. Those go up just a little bit, but the housing sizes do go up as well there. And this is one of those communities where I want to say, like, quote unquote, everything's included.
Right.
They used to truly have everything included. They no longer do refrigerator, washer, dryer, blinds, but you do have cabinets, countertops, flooring, all those things that really start to add up. So your base price is going to be pretty close to where you're staying for these. So that's really great.
Yeah, it is great. And so generally these are done like quick moves. So you'll pick a lot. You might be able to select like countertops, cabinets, and flooring depending on where it is in the process. But the nice thing is the sooner it is to closing, the better deal we can negotiate for you. We have a
Yes.
great relationship with Lennar, with all of these builders actually. But this one in particular, I know that we can get you a really good deal. So that's also really helpful when
Yes.
comparing. But the area too, I want to talk a little bit more about this because this is like the older part of Henderson, which is overlooked, but it's really, really gentrifying. I guess they're really working on bringing it back because Cadence is growing across the way. Obviously, Lake Las Vegas is growing out there. But so the downtown Water Street district,
They've done so much to
so
it.
much. Like there's going to be more shopping, restaurants, more like live and workspace. They have events there all the time. Like we take our son there for a little, like Cinco de Mayo, they had like a free concert.
I remember seeing that.
It was so good.
There's a Juan's Flaming Fajitas down there too.
Oh,
so
Juan's
it's
is
so good.
Yeah, that's like traditional
Yes.
Mexican fajitas.
Amazing.
So yeah, that whole area, I think while it was overlooked for a while, it's continuing to grow. So I definitely see the investment.
Absolutely. And there's like two shopping plazas there that has an Albertsons and a Vons. I feel like I've mentioned this in a couple
building a
videos.
Smith's
Yes.
by Target too.
Yes,
oh,
they
not
are.
Smith's, sorry, Sprouts.
Sprouts. Sprouts. So even better, in my opinion. There's a couple shopping plazas that have restaurants there. I know I've mentioned Il Chianti before. It's a really good Italian restaurant. So it is overlooked because people just don't know what is there, but a lot to choose from. One fun thing about the single family homes here, they are solar homes. So you can choose if you want to lease or finance, and then kind of go from there. But it is a solar community, except for the townhomes. But it really would help offset some of your energy bill.
Oh my goodness, the rate that we're paying for electricity here in Nevada is like gone up by 50% in the last year. So having that solar, while I don't think it covers your whole bill, it's going to help you a lot.
Yes, these are not as many solar panels as if you were doing like a full home. You can add more if you would like, but it will help offset costs. I mean, electricity bills are going up throughout the country, so obviously ours are as well. Still probably lower than some larger cities, but
for sure.
Solar panels will absolutely help offset that a little bit.
Yeah.
And so you do have a master plan fee here of $59. There's a splash pad, dog parks, playgrounds, things like that. And then the Ridgeview neighborhood will have a $71 HOA fee, and then the High Pointe Townhomes will have a $42 HOA fee on top of that.
Okay, next up we have Glenmore by Century Homes, which is located in Cadence. Now there's a ton of options for you in Cadence.
So many new builds in Cadence.
I just picked this one, but there's actually 16 communities in Cadence that are under 500,000.
That's really great.
Really, really great. And the other nice thing is Cadence has a $50 a month HOA. That's it. Unless you're in a townhome, it'll be a little bit more. But it's really pretty. They've got parks. The Central Park has playgrounds. You can see the strip.
There's free Wi-Fi there too. So if you like to work outside, get a little fresh air.
Yeah, of course. And then we did mention this before. They do have a community pool, but it is a pretty small pool for the big master plan community. But it's there. And then we haven't been talking about lids and SIDs, but there's no lid and SID here, which is just an extra fee that some of these other communities might have. So great for first-time home buyers. Also, there's some really good charter schools that are located in there as well.
Yes, there are.
Which is helpful. So let's talk a little bit about Glenmore I. I wanted to throw this one in because it's a single-story community. I think most of what we've been talking about is, two-story, et cetera. So it's a great option. It is all single stories, like I said, 1,600 square feet and above, 2 to 4 bedrooms, and the prices start at, I think, $430,000. But Century is moving to doing all specs, like kind of what you were talking about. So this community is now all spec homes. The finished prices are between $460,000 to $530,000.
Okay. I feel like that's not bad for a single-story home. They usually go quite a bit higher.
Oh, yeah. And that's actually a good thing to mention because I think depending on where you're coming from, like in Michigan, single stories go for less because they're smaller or whatever, but we have a lot of land in Michigan. But out here, land is king.
Yes.
And single stories take up more land than if you stacked that up. So that's why single stories have a higher price per square foot. Great option for you. And like I said, there's a ton of other options in Cadence too.
So many to choose from, but I like that we're focusing on the single story for this one.
Yeah, I know, because some of my clients, even though they're young, they don't want to do stairs. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Running up and down the stairs for laundry and stuff,
oh my goodness.
I'm getting tired of that too.
Yeah.
So let's move on to just off of the 15, slightly to the west of it, close to Silverado Ranch area, right off of Silverado Ranch Boulevard, like I said, west of the 15, we have DR Horton Spectrum Bay. And so these are going to be single family homes. They are starting around $402,000. So really not bad. We have, they're starting at 1715 square feet. That's another really like up and coming area. There's a lot of building going on there too. Super easy access to the 15. So if you work close to the strip, or if you work, kind of like us, we're constantly driving all over Vegas. If you have a job similar to that, really easy access to all of the highways. And DR Horton is one that really does have everything's included. Washer, dryer, refrigerator, blinds, your cabinets, countertops, flooring, like all of that's picked for you. And some people might think that, oh, that's a bad thing, but they're like more modern styles.
Good
like
palettes.
Yes,
yeah, like
the grayscale that's going on right now. I feel like I've seen them slightly change over the years and keep up with everything. So you really are getting a good deal, and they're offering a lot of incentives right now as well. DR Horton with contributing towards closing costs, rate buy down, things like that. So DR Horton Spectrum Bay, single family home, definitely something to keep in mind.
Great price point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to stay in the southwest area-ish, but move over up a little north and west a little bit to Spring Valley. And Beazer Homes has a collection of 3 different townhomes out there, Opal Point, Majestic Point, and Peace Landing, and they're pretty similar. What's happening is we're running out of land, so builders are kind of having to take these smaller plots that they can buy up and then build things on there. But what I like, first of all, is the location. So that all of these 3 communities are really close to the 215, so super easy access to the Strip, Summerlin, Henderson, like you were saying,
That's
whenever
awesome.
you want. Also, the Southwest is having a little bit of like a renaissance because the new Durango casino's opening, the Uncommons. Look that up. Really,
if you
really
haven't
cool.
been, you should definitely check it. I feel like we need to do a video on just the Uncommons.
Yes.
I was at the Sundry the other day. It's amazing. If you have picky kids and no one wants to eat the same thing, go to the Sundry. There's something for everyone.
For everyone, yeah, and they're doing like events and stuff. So, you know, kind of, I think when we moved here, it's like you would have to go to the Strip or you would have to go
There was
downtown,
nothing in the Southwest.
Maybe even Town Square, yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably where you would go as a local,
Yes.
but now the Uncommons is going to have stuff for you. So anyway, I'm really excited about these.
Yeah, and Durango Casino is supposed to open November 20th. Hopefully they're on track. But
that'll be so
that's
nice.
really exciting for that area, I feel like.
Totally, totally. And these are super affordable. They're starting at $350,000. They're townhomes. They'll go all the way up to $480,000, depending. Some of them are a 2-story, and some of them are a 3-story. Now, I will say, I had some feedback from clients because we're building vertically. How they're set up is the garage and like a bonus room or a bedroom is downstairs, and your kitchen on these is always going to be on the 2nd floor. And some of the 2-story ones are a little bit smaller, like 1,300 square feet. So. But again, it's really good for first-time home buyers. Lock and leave access, they're gated. And then it's kind of nice when your living area is not on the 1st floor because you feel a bit more secure.
I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, and Beazer does have where you can choose options within the home. So like if you want, and it's really cool, they have it like on a little board and you can move around so that you can kind of visualize like, oh, say that you wanted a 4th bedroom here, a 3rd bedroom probably for townhome here instead of a den or something like that. You can actually visualize it, which is really helpful.
Beazer's a really good builder too. I didn't really know until I sold one, and honestly that was the cleanest frame walkthrough I've ever been in, and I've sold every builder.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean it depends on your superintendent too, but I was super impressed.
All right, so sticking in the Southwest area, there is another new build that is right off of Silverado Ranch, west of the I-15. It's going to be TriPointe Countour. So these are another set of TriPointe townhomes. So again, you're getting that really modern feel.
Love them.
There's 4 plans to choose from here. They are starting at $365,000. So the area definitely makes a difference. The ones in Inspirada were a little bit higher, but again, great area. Things are starting to pop up here, super easy access. And again, you're getting that really modern TriPointe home. Your HOA is going to be about $173 a month here, but again, you are getting your own community pool. It's going to be gated, and you're going to have a barbecue area.
Great. All right, the next one that I picked is probably the highest price point that we're looking at for first-time home buyers, but I know that some of you do have a little bit of a higher budget, and I wanted to find something in Summerlin because everyone loves Summerlin, and there are a few options that I'm not going to talk about, but this one I really like. It's Knighthawk by KB. It's up in the northern part, the northwest part of Summerlin, Kestrel Village. It's so pretty up there. The mountains surround you,
like
and
right by the mountains.
And you're high, and you can see the Strip. Like if you're walking around, you can see the whole valley. It's really beautiful. And there are some view lots up here too, whether you're going to see the mountains or the Strip. So I think this is a really good investment. The base prices start at $495,000.
Oh my gosh!
So there's a quick move on the MLS right now. I think for $550. You're going to end up around $550 to $660,000 depending on your lot. You'll definitely pay a lot more for a lot with a view versus not, and depending on your upgrades. You will need to definitely do some upgrading with KB, but their upgrades are actually not too expensive compared to some other builders. Size of house, 3 to 5 bedrooms. It starts at 1,700 square feet. Your minutes from downtown Summerlin. So I just think that this one's a really good investment for you, that you can grow in this home and not maybe buy something small and then buy something bigger later. You can stay.
And to have the options for Strip or mountain views, yes, your lot premium will be more expensive, but even just to be in that area, and if you don't have an expensive lot premium, $495 starting price for Summerlin is, I'm actually really shocked.
I know, and they appreciate really well.
Yes.
I've seen like KB's other communities. I'm like, we just, my husband Steve just wrote an offer on a KB, or yeah, it was KB. That's now it's $1 million. But I remember when that community was open and they were selling for like 600,000.
They do go up quickly.
Yeah, so.
I feel like even KB Inspirada has jumped very much over the years, and they have so much land to still build on there too as well. All right, let's move on up to the northwest part of Las Vegas. This is a really growing area. You know, Skye Canyon we've talked about. Providence is built out, but has just blown up. Reasonable prices. If you're looking for it as investment as well, they can rent very high there.
Yes, because the military families all like to rent up there, so they're close to either Air Force Base.
Yes. Like I feel like $2,000 a month for a rental there is like the low side. Like if you're an investor, you can definitely rent them for more. And I feel like people are willing to pay it because you are getting a good value still for that up there. You're close to, like you said, the different bases. There's so much going into there. Mount Charleston, just a lot of things. So let's talk about DR Horton at Skye Hills. You have two communities there, the Groves, which are single story, and the Falls, which are going to be 2-story. The Groves are going to start at $414,000, and the Falls are going to start at $456,000. Now, like I said, DR Horton does have everything included: washer, dryer, refrigerator, blinds. So you are getting a pretty good deal for such a growing and popular area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you do have master plan fee is going to be $55 a month. There are some community pools, parks, different things like that. And then your HOA is going to be $30 a month for the Groves and the Falls. And you do have easy access to the 215. So some people might think it's a little far north for them, and maybe it is for some people, but you know, if you don't mind a little bit of a commute or you work somewhere closer to there, 215, super easy access.
Yeah. Okay, and rounding out our list at number 10, we're going to stay up in the northwest and go over to Sunstone. And I pulled Luna by Woodside Homes. Sunstone, Skye Hill, Skye Canyon, all those communities are up there. Skye Canyon, unfortunately, is almost built out. There's a lot of like higher priced homes, but that's going in there right now by toll. But Sunstone is a great opportunity to get into a new master plan community right at the beginning. And when you get it in at the beginning, prices appreciate. I had a client buy at the Lennar community up there at the beginning of the year, and his home's already gone up $30,000.
That's amazing.
You know, when the market is slow. So the Woodside Homes community has a really wide range of floor plans, like quite a few floor plans, starting at 1,700 square feet and going all the way up to 2,600 square feet, 3 to 5 bedrooms, and base prices start at $412,000. Once you build everything out, you're looking between $450,000 and $550,000, depending on, you know, but the size and everything that you put into
upgrades
and
stuff
once
like that.
again, they've got a lot of quick moves, and we can definitely negotiate you a deal on those quick moves.
So there are our top 10 new builds for first-time home buyers, or if you're not a first-time home buyer, these are our top 10 new builds. As I mentioned earlier, we're trying to keep them lower on the price and things like that. That's kind of how we got our criteria. So if you have any questions, we do have a ton more information for you on all of these choices. We just didn't want the video to be too long. So please reach out with any questions. Our numbers are below. You can also reach us at thethomasgrouplv.com, and we love to give free consultations and answer any questions you may have. My name is Catherine. I am your first-time homebuyer expert.
And my name's Kristen. I'm your new construction home expert. And with that, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
See ya.